Welcome to We Are Live.
An energetic intro, everybody. I'm Chris Denman. That was Travis Farrell. This is We Are Live. Welcome to the Midcoast Studios, Grand Center, St. Louis, Missouri.
I like how you did that.
In the Kranzberg Arts Foundation's Zach building.
I like that.
Big fans of them and what they do. Look for some interesting stuff that we're working on with them coming in the near future. This is We Are Live, February 28th, the final, thank God, day of Black History Month.
What kind of shit is that to start a show?
If you want to text in anonymously, 314-669, nice, 1431. Be sure if you're in the Facebook live stream, drop a few comments. We'll check in on them and give us a share, if you will. Subscribe on iTunes because we love it whenever you do that. And keep the party going. Support all the great sponsors that help us. And especially thanks to Tech Electronics for helping us build out this studio. Great company right here in St. Louis, Missouri. Can help businesses, individuals alike. Travis, we're joined just this morning by executive producer, video expert, Christopher Gardner on the Possum Cam.
Hello, Gardner.
Expert?
We're weighing our options on some tutorial
Yeah,
work.
I'll go with watcher of YouTube tutorials.
There he is. There he is. You've got to be a curator by this point.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are you?
Good. Sorry for the late start. We had a bit of we had a black ice hawk,
Oh, my.
we had a bathroom hawk, and we had a smoke break hawk.
We had the Hawks in the building today.
It was a perfect storm.
It was, indeed. It was a hell of a morning for those who are outside the St. Louis metro area. You probably have no clue as to what we're talking about, but it has been a brutal winter in St. Louis. And today, or early this morning, before the show began, there was a system that came through the area with a lot of sleet, a lot of ice.
No matter if you've got Vegas getting snow and Arizona getting snow, parts of California maybe, I don't know, weird stuff. But this is the one. It's actually inspired our fair or foul topic today. Black ice. So I'm driving up one of the main roads to get here from my house, and I'm a little perturbed because I'm kind of blocked in, but everybody's giving each other space. And I was like, why don't these idiots speed up? What's going on? And then I went to just slowly go around to people, and I felt the wiggle.
Yeah, boy.
I was like, yep, that'll keep me 7 under. That's what's going on here.
I think what happens with black ice is that it's very deceptive. It is very sneaky.
Yep.
It is, you may not want it to go out with your white daughter. I just think it is very troublesome, often articulate, but something that you have to keep an eye out for.
So our fair or foul topic, if you're new or just tuning in, fair or foul, if you're listening live, you can send in an email on a topic and you can win a prize. Our prize today, $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill. Warmer times. I posted a TBT on the We Are Live Instagram story of myself, Travis, and Colton Wong outside the great Buzz's Hawaiian Grill food truck, and that's inspiring our prize today. So whenever it warms back up, you can go visit Buzz and the gang out and about wherever they're at. They're located throughout St. Louis. Family-owned food truck, wonderful business. We love working with them,
God,
and
that
you
looks good right
will
now.
love their menu and service. Wonderful sponsors here on We Are Live. So fair or foul today, Travis? Black ice.
What a great last day of Black History Month. But I do have a quick question for you guys, and I'm going to jump on my liberal horse for just a second.
Oh, who would have ever seen this coming?
Shocking, right?
How about you, Ma Gardner?
Question, what is it going to take for people to truly accept that climate change is real? Like I'm not saying
it's a liberal stance.
Because I think it's been associated with liberal politicians and how many Republicans.
Scientists don't have to be liberal.
But I think the people who are beating the
point.
drum are generally progressive, and I don't know too many conservatives or Republicans who have taken the bullhorn and have shouted to the heavens as much as liberal politicians in regards to climate change. So I'm curious. I'm not saying that the weather that we're going through right now is a definite sign of climate change, but I feel like now that we're getting into March, we're talking about more snowstorms.
Where's that global warming now, Travis?
Yeah, buddy. Oh, jeez.
But Chris asked a great question, though. How is that a liberal thing?
I don't know if it. I guess when I say liberal in that sense that
No,
there
but you're right though.
Okay.
It has become that. But the the question stands. Everyone should ask themselves,
Right.
how is this
A liberal stance.
liberal or conservative stance?
Right.
It shouldn't matter. It does, obviously, but it should, right?
And that's my, I guess
So
my,
where
so
were
my
you
question
going
to
with
that
this?
for those who are not inclined to believe the theories and what we've seen from scientists
I would
and
say hard
evidence
facts at
and
this
facts
point, yeah.
and all these things about climate change, what would it take for people to go, oh, this is it? Because I would have thought that as Chris mentioned just a few seconds ago, the snow in Las Vegas would be that's not normal whatsoever. So I'm
But that's
wondering,
where
what do you
have
think it will
people
take
going,
to
"Oh,"
get?
This is where there's a confusion and why
And a lack of scientific reasoning.
I'm going to go with narrative here. I don't know if I should. I know that word is used a lot now. But between global warming and climate change, they've had all these different phrases that have been thrown out. They've tried to narrow their message some.
Right.
And also even the scientists, that is. And one in like if you follow like Michael Mann on Twitter.
Right.
I just got his book, The Madhouse Effect, which talks about the politics of climate change
Right.
and what you have to do to actually communicate to people about what is going on.
Right.
Even if it seems like I think that the issues come with the modeling of everything. Not everyone believes that the predictions of the models are there. Others don't just believe anything. That's a tough sell to those people. So I just kind of say, I'm not going to deal with you about this. We'll just talk about something else.
I understand, and I've watched and I've seen plenty of things where people have annoyed me with the way they've gone about it. Like, I don't think you need to have some kind of a weird political tie to it to even push it. So I think maybe that's what helped with that. Like, it's stupid if you're going to say, well, a Democrat believes this. But if you have someone tying it to some emotional weird thing, like, I think it should just be looked at as math. Like, this is happening. So here's what we do.
But in order to
stop
bring
that.
about any elements of change,
Right,
like to
but it's
start
not, is the
forcing-
problem.
Right, and that's my thing. I'm wondering, what is it going to take, because we're starting to see the changes
Death,
in our
famine.
climate. Yes, we're starting to see it
Yeah,
truly
stuff
directly
like that.
affect people's everyday lives now. And so I'm curious, again, not to go on a complete tangent, I'm wondering what major weather event needs to happen for people to start to realize, oh, we need to truly sit down and find out.
The day after tomorrow has to happen.
I feel like that's what it feels like. And I think, like, when you have weather like this in the St. Louis area or just around the country, and how it disrupts everybody's everyday life, it's beginning to disrupt economies. It's disrupting the school system because
And
kids
that's
are
Sorry,
what-
having to
think
stay
about that. St. Louis is a big bar town with a bunch of patio bars because they depend on that mild spring to summer, and then it slows down around July, August.
Well, I'm not even
Yeah,
talking about that. I'm
it's
talking about something as basic as highways, like just being able to treat the roads so people can go from point A to point B. That completely disrupts an entire metro area's
You mentioned
economy.
the economic part of it. That's part of the, I'll say, new messaging that you'll see from some climatologists
Mm-hmm.
that are on television, that communicate the science well,
Right,
that explain it well.
right,
There's a couple of them, and I think that's part of their messaging now is to, because that's what the people that are pushing back. Yeah, they have agendas.
sure.
They have they
Right.
get money from which industries, which coal industries, which whatever industries, because it's not necessarily they're picking. All right, if I would ask, okay, well, so what do you have a problem with in their modeling? What exactly is wrong with it? They wouldn't be able to answer that question.
Right.
They would have no effing clue how to
Right.
answer that question. It's just basically, well, and I've seen a number of times. I actually watched you can make fun of me here in a second.
Oh, here we go.
I watched a TEDx talk.
Of course.
It's from a couple years ago. The only reason I watched it was my cousin out in Colorado.
Nice.
He
probably high.
He recently, he was developing these batteries for electric cars that last longer, that use a certain technology, that are clean. So he's an engineer.
Right.
He's like 30. He's very, very smart. And he was delivering this talk on it, and part of it had to deal with climate and why he was making and why he was inspired to kind of go into this field and do things. And part of it was discussing mass appeal. Like, to really get people to buy in,
Right.
it really has to impact them.
Yes.
The impact isn't completely there yet.
Which is interesting because I feel like it's getting close though. It's getting pretty
you talk about
doggone close.
economics and commercial part of it. The commercial part of it is where they're looking to find that mass appeal. Like he talked about a friend of his who would argue with him about it. They would push back and forth, and he said that helped him develop his argument as it stood. And basically, his friend's like, and this might sound like O'Fallon, this might sound like Farmington, this might sound like whatever, but when you can make my pickup truck with that battery, then we can talk.
Right.
So the challenge is,
Well, we're getting there.
yes, it's not as quick as you want, but the challenge is selling it to the masses.
Yes.
To the idiots.
Right.
To the lowest
You're
common
right.
denominator.
And I think that's ultimately, I think we're getting fairly close because we're seeing so many delays at airports. We're seeing people not being able to get certain goods and services because of the weather that's been completely inconsistent, and especially rolling into spring. Here we are rolling into spring, and they're talking about.
Remember the past 2 years? How really long have our springs and falls been?
They have been incredibly short.
Which brought me back to my point that I was so rudely cut off on, that the bar industry and the hospitality industry in towns like St. Louis drastically affected. Drastically affected. It's bad.
And that's why talking points have shifted to economic factors, because that gets people's attention
If that
more.
makes people pay attention, cool.
Yes.
If you don't want to wear Birkenstocks and live off of kale, I get it. That's fine. But you should just want the best route to a good life and for your kids to have a good life. So there it is, everybody. We've solved it.
That's another day where we solved. I remember.
Sadly, also, Gardner's cousin was suffocated in his sleep after his TED Talk. That's another problem.
Actually, he just sold his company to Tesla. So
Oh wow!
But Elon got high on Rogan's podcast. I wouldn't trust him.
Oh my goodness!
he's doing okay.
Huh. Okay.
A few big moments in podcast history took place yesterday. Well, first let's talk about our historical.
I mean, we had Ben
historical moment.
Fredrickson on yesterday.
That's what I mean. We had Ben
Okay.
Fredrickson of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch in studio yesterday. I love having Ben Fred around, and I mean this sincerely. One of the best young writers in America right now. One of the best young columnists, and certainly
I didn't see
in this
him up
country.
for an award.
He was not.
Benjamin Hockman, Derek Gould are.
They were indeed. But I
I'll thank the hayseed hat for stopping by. Yeah.
always fun. What do you think of many of Ben Fred's hot takes yesterday, especially when it came to the sandwiches?
Well,
Man, I felt bad for you guys.
I've known about his hot takes on those for a while now. And we're talking about basically the wedge sandwich you would find at a gas station. The prepackaged triangular cut gas station sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Can I be
He
honest?
likes the chicken salad
He
one.
does. He does. That's bothering to me.
You know what that looked like to me? It looked like the end of a soup bowl that'd been laying out for like 3 days that you poured into a sandwich.
Yes, that is exactly what it looked like.
Like broccoli cheddar.
It's like
Like
old.
a white chili that's kind of settled.
Yes,
Film
Like chicken chili.
films there.
I don't, and I'll be honest. Like I don't even see why that would be a viable option if drunk. Like when you're drunk, you're a machine. You just throw whatever you can in your mouth and you go to bed.
Yeah.
But
Clip that off.
damn it, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was-
But a chicken salad sandwich cut into a triangle from a gas station?
the good people at
course.
Landshire mean you no harm.
They do not. I'm
They're
sure
not
they
the
work
only
very hard.
company that produces this.
They
stuff.
are not. And that's the even more troubling thing, that there are multiple companies
I don't
making these
understand how you
triangle
can't-
sandwiches.
How you can't kind of wrap your mind around that drunk people will eat anything.
Why? But certain things you really probably shouldn't put into your system, even when
It
you
doesn't
are
matter
full
if
of
you
alcohol.
shouldn't. It just matters what you will do. And you will put those in.
What's the most disgusting thing you can recall that you put into your body when inebriated? Now, you've been sober for 6+ years?
Going on 6 years.
Going on 6 years.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what?
Thank you.
what
It's
can-
horrible.
Yeah.
It was
Or
the-
6 years of my life.
I would imagine. But what have you? Can you recall what you put into your body when drunk, and you're just like 4 hours later when you woke up, you go, well, "That was just the dumbest thing I've ever done."
Usually it's just like you're mixing whatever you find in the fridge. It's not necessarily one thing. It's like
This
I
oatmeal
ate this
beef cheddar
on top of
macaroni.
this on top of this.
Why do we want to do that when we get so
Excess,
inebriated?
Just excess, just anything.
Why does our mind tell our body to do that?
Because you just want, you're craving anything to get in there.
I'll say
I mean,
this.
I was a sloppy eater at times when I was drunk. Like I would
Not just
I
when you're
would
drunk.
sit
I
at-
see you
Yeah.
chow through your stuff here too.
No,
it's
I will
embarrassing.
attack it. I will attack it.
You will attack it.
But like I remember like eating meatballs out of a Ziploc bag at the bar and
Holy
dripping it on my
Jesus.
shirt.
Oh,
and then
God.
that was in the middle of the day, and then like
Oh,
a
God.
friend taking me to the steakhouse right over here by the Fox.
Oh God!
And that's the first time I met Lewis Reed, the Board of Aldermen president.
you.
I was drunk and I had meat marinara sauce on my shirt. Hey, Lewis, what's going on? You got my vote. Give me a sticker.
Oh no! I tell you,
I mean, I was sloppy.
What's up, my brother?
Yeah.
I'll be completely honest with
Hey,
you.
homie.
A phrase
You
I
be
did-
Lewis, I'll be Gardner.
not on the last day of Black History Month. No way in hell.
will not do this to
we
me.
will not do this.
I'll be Lewis Reed then. You be
No,
Gardner.
not at all.
No.
Hello, my friend.
I'll be completely honest. A phrase I did not expect to hear this morning is meatballs in a sandwich bag.
Yeah, Ziploc.
That is just
See,
wow.
this is why we should do the
Oh,
show midday. People can't deal with this early in the morning.
That is so
I'm
outstanding.
trying to think the worst thing is like it's got to be you have
Mind you, I've been a witness to a majority of these, so don't you dare lie.
Yeah, we did live together at one point in college. So let's say this is the word. We'll say in your younger years you could stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning, right?
Easily.
So no pizza delivery at this time, right? You're not going to drive. This is before Uber, really.
Right.
You're not going to call a cab to go do it. Usually, some people would. I'm going to say the worst thing that could happen is forgetting about a pizza, not the fall asleep version, because there is that where you get woke up to the fire alarm. I've had someone do that. Haven't done that myself, but I think the worst is burning or dropping your one little tasty morsel that you have. Like say you've been eating healthy, but there's one frozen pizza
Right.
that's in there, and you load it up with all the extra stupid stuff you have in your fridge,
Right.
and then you go away and your drunk ass is playing a video game or watching something, and maybe you're kind of out of it, and then you realize you're like, what's that? Nothing worse than a burnt pizza. Nothing worse. Especially whenever you're just like, man, I wanted that. And then you settle for the eggs that you should have had anyway.
That is pretty
It's a bad
embarrassing.
scenario.
There
Yeah.
is something worse than burnt pizza. I don't think there's anything worse than burnt popcorn.
Yeah,
That
it's horrible.
That
And
smell
to make
stays,
sure- yeah.
and it stays in your house for a good 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so it's absolutely
popcorn
gross.
can have kind of a vomity smell at times.
It definitely can.
like
it's
it's
like nauseating.
At times you're like,
That last drink of coffee was great.
it
while you
looked
said that.
really
Yeah.
good. At times you're like, oh, I've often when I smelled it like in a bar or something, I'd be like, oh, who's got like some Parmesan cheese out? And then it's like, oh yeah, it's popcorn. Sometimes it smells like Parmesan cheese to me. Then other times I'm like, did someone need to go check the bathroom because it does not smell good in here. So there's a fine line with the scent of popcorn, I think.
I will say the most disgusting thing I was going to say pounded while drunk, and I glad I stopped. But the most disgusting thing I can recall, like just piling into my gullet, was when Michael Gaines and I, after a drunk evening of karaoke, decided to go to White Castle and spend close to
Poor decision.
$50 to $60 at White Castle. And the thing is, when you're with
What
Michael
did you
Gaines,
get?
we were in that line for a good 20, 25 minutes. We ordered at least 10 double cheeseburgers, 20 sliders, 4 cheese fries. I'm almost certain Gaines got a cheesecake on that day.
I was gonna
found out
say-
that White Castle had
Yeah.
cheesecake, at least 4 Mountain Dews. It was incredibly embarrassing. But you have a guy like Michael Gaines who is motivated when he's in line. And so he's like that hype man. He's like, man, that's all you're going to get? Oh, that's it? You stop it with that? And you're like, all right, 3 more double cheeseburgers.
You took the bait.
Oh, did we?
And ate it all, too.
And we ate every single morsel.
I once asked my dad how many White Castle sliders he put down. Like, what's the most he's put down in one sitting?
Okay.
Former amateur bodybuilder dad.
His answer was 36.
How is that possible?
Don't know, but I've heard of a
No,
great deal more
that
too.
is.
We had a friend.
How long did he? Well, how long did it take him? Did
I don't
he
know.
say?
You don't
I've-
follow up a question when a man tells you he's had over 30
That's
Yeah.
very
in one
true.
sitting. You say, "Can I get you anything?"
You're just like, okay.
You would dominate me physically.
So I just wanted to know.
Yeah. right.
36 is possible.
I can text him later and
Okay.
find out
Find out how long it took him.
took.
Okay.
And I want to know, like, what's the setting for this, too? Like,
Yes.
Had you been drinking?
Yes, that's a good question.
Was it the middle of the day? Mm-hmm. Because it is weird being in a White Castle in the middle of the day. To
It
me.
is very odd, especially for those who go in the morning. I
I-
get they have great coffee, but
Yeah.
get out of the White
Yeah, the
Castle line
line,
at 7
that's
a.m.
disturbing. If
It's
you see a
incredibly
line at a
long.
White Castle in the morning, like that bothers me.
Well, there's
I
some
have
people,
a real problem
and
with
I know
that.
it's McDonald's is different, but people will go anywhere for what they believe to be a really nice cup of coffee.
That is very true.
So, and I
That's
know
what they
peop-
go for?
I think that
Yeah.
people go to
No,
White
these
Castle
people
for
are
the coffee.
pounding breakfast.
No, I mean-
I think they have
sandwiches.
some breakfast sandwiches now.
I
at
know
White
people that
Castle,
go to
but-
McDonald's in the morning, like have to go to McDonald's in the morning. They don't order
'Cause
any
their
food.
coffee?
They just they're like
coffee.
they like that coffee.
That's why McDonald's made such an effort over the last few years to truly compete with the Starbucks and the local coffee houses, because they realized that people actually enjoyed their coffee a lot.
Hot McDonald's gossip, huh?
Pretty nice. But yeah, I would be curious to find out how long he took, because I think I could do that. I would need to set aside an entire Saturday or Sunday, but I believe 36 is reachable. I think if given the time and the right strand, I can absolutely knock that out.
The right strand, huh? Hey, we got some comments on
Do you
the
have
Facebook
to have that
live stream.
strand?
Oh, damn, Skippy.
Okay.
We did say that, I don't know if I told you this already, but Yale Hollander, who will be on the comedy show
Oh,
tonight,
hey, we're promoting more Yale stuff.
he is doing comedy at Southtown Pub tonight. Which
Oh,
is
all right.
awesome.
Good for
Yeah.
Yale. He is hilarious. I love that Yale Hollander.
Quentin Wilbert, Keith Hughes, and Sarah Pearl. Round it out. It's going to be a fun night. Stop by. The ice will be cleared up, so stop by South City. Southtown Pub. We do free comedy Thursday every week at 8 o'clock, so whenever it starts. Karaoke after. How about this? Our friend Teresa weighing in. She ate it outside with her 2 dogs while letting them out this morning.
Oh, no, Teresa, be careful now.
I almost did the same, and I wanted my dogs to eat it because they were doing the runaround thing, like it's 6 a.m. and we're wired,
Right.
jumping around everywhere, but they didn't. They kept their bearings somehow. Other comments on the Facebook Live thread. We've got. I don't know if we want to say his name. His name is Danny. He has a question. And it's very serious.
Okay, Danny, what is your question?
Can Travis come in late, even if he's there? I miss the Hawk stories. Travis has eliminated being late for good out of his repertoire. The Hawk lives. It's in our intro to this. If you guys haven't seen that, very well put together intro by our video expert, Chris Gardner. Any Hawk situations you see coming up?
I did think we were going to have a Hawk situation this morning, because I live in a subdivision that's on a hill, and getting out
hill?
when
The hill?
when you're trying to get out of the subdivision, it can be very troublesome. But I was able to make it today.
Would
The
you call
Hawk-
it problematic?
Very.
wow.
Incredibly. In fact, it was like, hey, nigga. I was like, hey! Hey, Hill, you're problematic.
Oh my! Well,
Don't say that word, Hill. That is not cool.
that is-
Yeah,
good.
don't even say that around me, Travis.
Yeah, don't say that
good.
word.
anybody who's listening
Makes
right
me
now,
cringe even when you say it.
Yeah.
it's the funniest word ever. Anybody who's listening right now on the live stream, or if you've downloaded, now you're good to say it too. Travis has anointed you able to say it. Is
It was
that all
the
right?
last day of Black History Month. I had to get one in.
You had to.
Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to let
What do you think?
everybody
What do you think
know-
this is? AM radio on,
Well,
on the
look,
FCC
look,
station?
Look, we're trying to be edgy. I saw a
Are
podcast
we?
yesterday.
I don't know that
Well,
we
I
are.
don't know. I think
I don't
there's
think we are.
There was
I
a
think we're talented
podcast
enough.
yesterday that was trending, and I was curious to get Denman's thought on this.
Yeah.
It was Joe Rogan's podcast, because there was a particular guest that he had on the show, and I figured, I guess that's the way you go when you have a video podcast. You just bring on the crazies that say crazy shit all the time. Who did Mr. Reasonable Rogan have on his show yesterday, Chris?
First of all, you take that man's name out your mouth. Looks like Alex Jones is on.
Oh, Alex Jones
I
found
never
his way.
sucked any ding dongs.
Oh,
How can you not appreciate Rogan just putting out the putting out the flyer, like, hey, I know you, come in, let's talk. And that guy was talking a bunch of smack. Was that a pro wrestling move by Alex
It was
Jones?
a work.
He ain't
It was
getting,
certainly a work. I think he understands. I think he understands what he is.
he has
now.
to. I mean, because if he walked in and he was serious, it's like, oh, good luck getting your jaw smashed.
Well, he's
into.
about to get sued to oblivion by the
Yeah.
folks at
Did
Sandy
you
Hook.
listen to any of it?
I did not. I was
actually-
not going to participate in that.
I tried
disgusting
the last time,
display
and
of
it was
so-called
just-
entertainment.
I tried the last time he was on there, and I really did want to just be like, okay, is he going to clock out,
Right.
and kind of talk normal? And it was a whole lot of Rogan just like, okay, man, and it just wasn't fun to listen to or informative.
But
this
here's
one
the
could be different, I guess, because maybe he is a little more humbled because of what's around the corner. But then again, he probably can't give up any info, right? If he's getting ready to go to war.
I think giving a platform to a guy like
I
Alex
don't
Jones
know.
is fairly disgusting. And here's why I think it is. And look, we make fun of Alex Jones, and we will continue to make fun of Alex Jones going forward on this particular show. But when you take the time to completely humiliate and embarrass and just, let's be completely frank, harass and shit on families that have had kids murdered in school, I think you have no place for any platform. And I like Joe Rogan a lot. I really do. And I get the gimmick. I get why he brought him on.
I think he
but I
just
think
does
it's disgusting.
everything. He leaves the door
I
open.
think it's completely gross to bring an individual like Alex Jones onto your show, knowing what he has done, knowing the pain and suffering he has caused to those families. Can you imagine losing your child
No.
under those circumstances
Horrible.
and having a blowhard just use his podcast to call you a liar, to say that your child's death didn't happen?
He didn't say that on Rogan.
He didn't say that on Rogan, but he has said that in the past. He has
Right,
said
but
that
he didn't-
consistently.
he didn't
But
say-
that's why I don't think. And I like Joe Rogan, and he can do whatever the hell he wants with his podcast. One of the most successful podcasts in the industry, in the game right now. But to bring a guy
Almost as big as ours.
close, but a guy like Alex Jones doesn't deserve a microphone. A guy doesn't deserve the attention that he gets, and the fact that he was trending on Twitter last night was pretty disgusting.
I never sucked any ding dongs.
Yes, you did. You just don't come out and say that. It's okay if you have. Good for you.
You know
but
what?
don't sit up here and lie to the public like that. You gross man. What a disgusting individual. I would love to slap the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Why? Because, come on, man. Look, I want to say this on my last day of Black History Month. I want to live in a world
Feel free.
where I too can be a mediocre podcaster and get the type of
You're getting
attention
there.
that he gets.
You're getting
Why
there.
is it that the only people that get that type of attention are the mediocre, overweight white men?
Oh, you're
It
talking
is
about-
time
you're talking
for
about Alex
mediocre,
Jones.
overweight black people to also get some love.
Anthony Anderson's been great for a while.
Hey, that's Emmy nominee Anthony Anderson.
Did he clear up that stuff? It was
Yeah, man, charges got dropped. Charges was dropped, man. Yeah,
about it?
A black man free again. You're welcome.
Okay.
Don't
All
sit
right.
up here and throw him under the bus. And at the same time, we ain't seen Jason Segel since when? When was the last time he was in something relevant?
I think
I don't
he
have
played-
a source to confirm any of this.
Thank you.
Okay, that's
I think
fair.
he played Hunter S. Thompson in something. Maybe.
Hunter S. Thompson.
You ever
That
heard
is
of
what
him?
your comedy god is doing now.
What comedy god?
You, Chris is
Who's your
just.
comedy? If Jason Segel's, is it Anthony Anderson?
He's not a comedy god.
Okay, well,
but he's
Jason Segel's much funnier and more talented.
Oh, he's. No way! Why do you do this every damn
You
other
got a problem
show?
with Hunter S. Thompson, by the way?
Yeah, that's a
I
good question.
don't, but I don't think you should. Are we really parading Hunter S. Thompson out like he's dope? He's like really cool these days. That's what all the millennials are talking about. Hunter S. Thompson.
Travis, when you dropped the N-word, apparently the black sheep had just shown his grandmother the live stream.
Oh, dear.
So it was a bad
I
time.
really
Oh.
hope my mom isn't showing this at work today.
Oh boy!
All right,
Considering
all
that
right.
everyone's probably at home, I probably.
We were just on our way to getting picked up by Channel 9, too, and you blew it. We've
And
got
you had a hard ending when you said that, too.
It wasn't. I mean, it was street.
Gardner, do you wish you could say it?
No.
I think it is cheating comedically because the way it rolls off comedian's
It is
tongue.
cheating comedian.
Comedian's tongue. You just throw. If you could just say, hang on, let me say. You can make it seem. You can make it look down on you, Travis. If I could be the front end
Oh,
and
boy.
you finish it up,
Oh,
I'll
boy.
say all you have to do is just say, look at that desk.
And words.
People are like, that's
Better.
funny. That's what I'm telling you. It's a cheating word in the comedic.
It's a cheating word in the comedic community.
If you drop it, people like if somebody cusses right during a stand-up act, you're like, oh man, he's great, he's so funny. If somebody cusses too hard and they're not skilled enough, you're like, okay, you're hiding behind the F word. Man, black comics, if they just drop the N word right, like, man, that's good, man.
But it's still about timing.
Of course it is.
So it
it's
isn't
a nice,
as if
it's
you
a
could
nice
just be a
add-on.
black comedian that
So
can
we
just get
need
on
to find-
stage. And
Didn't say that.
Okay.
Didn't say that.
We need to find
It's not like a cheat code.
It is.
We need to
because
find a word
it's
that's-
instantly funny. every meme I've ever seen posted by a black dude that's like, come on. I'm like, man, that's good.
And I've seen some that are funny like that too. And I call Travis to ask if
Yes,
I
he
have
does.
to.
Yes, and that
I won't retweet them. I should be able to.
Look,
they
you-
put it out there for everybody.
it is
I
out
think
there
it's
for
hilarious.
You can like that tweet.
Open that
I
win-
allow you to like that.
Open
tweet.
that-
No,
open that
retweeting,
window.
I'm not
Okay,
falling for
you
that,
can
Travis.
like the
This is what
tweet.
happened to all these major league
Retweeting,
pitchers
I'm
when they
not
were
sure.
14 on Twitter. They're
That's
like,
also
oh,
true.
this is great.
That's very true. But I think it's,
Admit it.
If we're
It's
talking
funny.
about the proper policy on social media, it's okay to if it's on Facebook, you can. Ooh, on
Seriously.
Facebook, you can't share. Don't share.
Say, look at that broke ass.
And
Hey, say, look at that.
I don't know if you want to like it on
Just
Facebook.
make a sentence. Say, look at that broke ass picture. And we're
Look at that broke ass picture. N-word.
Nope. No. See.
No, I'm not-
It makes everything way funnier, and it's a cheat code, for sure.
This is interesting. I'm curious if we bring in the next black comedian, I will ask it. I will ask.
We will
it,
have
Chris.
2 tomorrow.
Okay, I will ask it, Chris, because I want them not to slap the taste out of your mouth.
Just to mess with Travis. Whenever, so we should have Jay Farrow on tomorrow. From Saturday Night Live, just to mess with Travis. I literally, as I'm in the elevator this morning, I wanted, and I don't know Jay, so I don't know if I want to come right out of the gate with this. But I was thinking in the elevator, I go, I want to fuck with Travis. And whenever Jay sits down, right when we start this show, I want to say, Jay, you are so good with Colin Jost. You guys are the best duo I've ever seen.
Oh, you want to mistaken him for Michael?
And I just thought, oh, Travis isn't even going to play along if I mess with him like that. So
Oh no, I would
went ahead and
have
outed
let
myself.
let you sit in it, and
No,
I would be
and it
like,
would have been
"Oh, this
hilarious.
would've
It would have been
good."
great. It would have been great.
No,
Don't worry.
that's I'm gonna talk to.
Then you guys could have tossed the N-word around like anytime you want after that.
I'm going to ask Kenny Kynes, because Kenny Kynes, a black comedian here in St. Louis, very successful. I have seen many of his sets. I don't know how often he drops it.
Well, then find somebody who does.
Am I allowed to laugh?
You can laugh at it. Especially if it's in a comedic setting, you can certainly laugh at it.
A black comic drops
Chris thinks it's a cheat word. Cheat code.
N-word on the end of a tag or a punchline. It's markedly funny.
But then again, I've seen white comedians finish a punchline with bitch, and it's just as funny.
Sure.
So again, I think it just ultimately comes down to
He's getting
timing.
defensive.
No, because Chris wants to
He's-
be able. He's now weaponizing the word. And
so like Dane Cook isn't as funny as Cat Williams because Cat Williams can say the N-word. Is that what you think I'm saying here?
that's what it sounds
Okay,
like.
great. Could you think of one more white and black comic?
That is a
Basically, Chris is getting at we need a word that's ours.
yes.
Right. When do we get a month?
Oh God, here we go.
Cocktoberfest.
I've been looking for wet all the time on TV, man.
I'll never forget that day.
Oh yeah, we'll come up with a word that you can't say.
That we
around
can't
us.
say, that you guys, that'd be cool. You should. You know what? In fact, that should be a bit. You may want to sell that one to Michael Costa. Like, sell that bit to a white comedian that you're trying to come up with a word that only white comedians can say on stage that they think will be funny to add to an end of a punchline.
It's got to be. It's just got to phonetically. It has to work, and just the.
Right.
It's so good.
You'd be like, 401k. Black people don't know what that is, so that could work for you
Okay,
guys.
there you go.
So I don't know.
Like Kraka isn't gonna work.
No, that's not going to work.
We've already tried that one. It's like I always think back when the conversation like this comes up, when CNN thought they were being really
God.
smart, like think tankish, and they did an entire evening on the N word.
I remember it.
And they were like, their cryon at the bottom of the screen said, "Is Kraka as bad as the N word?"
remember
And I'm just sitting there thinking, you won't even put one of the words on the screen.
Exactly.
That answers your question. Let's move on to the next topic. That's all.
That's
Who's
it.
the producer of that thought that was a good question to ask in this conversation.
Oh, white producer.
Not sure. A great transition from Joe Rogan talk to two guys that have been on Joe Rogan. Did you see Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren, former Mizzou wrestling standouts? One of them, Ben Askren, has 2 national titles for Mizzou.
Yeah.
Tyron, I believe, finished 3rd. Tyron's from St. Louis, and they are both at the top of their game. Tyron making his case on his way to being one of the best welterweight fighters of all time in the UFC. But now it's turned into a lethal weapon, basically, in the UFC. You've got Ben Askren coming in, talking his way, not in a Conor McGregor style either, but just in an ornery way. He is a rising star at 34 years old in the UFC. And oh, by the way, his teammate and decade-plus long friend is the current champion of their weight class, and they're fighting on the first card they've fought on together since their pro debut in Colombia at a hotel whenever we still lived there.
Yeah.
So I remember that. I believe Jake Hecht, our buddy, was on that card
They're
too.
2 of the best prize fighters in the game right now.
Ben Askren's undefeated. Tyron Woodley hasn't lost in 5 years.
And this will be Ben Askren's UFC debut.
Against a former champion, Robbie Lawler. And this is crazy. Askren's popularity is wild. I believe we have a clip of the 2 of them. It looked like badass Chris and Travis just holding court at a press conference from MMA Fighting.
And real quick, because I'm not clear on everything within the clip, but they're discussing somebody named Marty.
So I'll give some backstory.
Yeah, just so we can have some
This is my favorite
clarification.
thing ever because it's gone perfect and there haven't been any weird lines crossed and it's been fun. So Tyron Woodley's opponent for the championship fight he has on Saturday night is Kamaru Usman. He's of African descent, but did not start going by the name Kamaru until recently. And when Ben Askren knew him as a wrestler in Kearney, Nebraska, he went by the name Marty. It's still on his profile. It says Kamaru Marty Usman.
Right.
So he went by Marty for a long time, and he's got a whole persona he's playing up. This happens in fighting, right? He's a tough dude.
I see it a lot in the WWE all the time, Chris.
He's
I
wearing
concur.
Afrocentric clothing,
Okay.
and there's a big push. Awesome. Get your people behind you. I believe he's Nigerian. And Ben Askren literally just came out. He's like, "Why are you acting tough, man? Your name's Marty." So he's just been going after him, and he's fighting, and Ben Askren's not even fighting him. He is in Tyron Woodley's opponent's head, Kamaru Usman, and they're making fun of him. And Tyron's not a big fan of Kamaru either. So it's a Looney Tunes-esque.
So we got
it's good.
2
It's funny.
Mizzou guys, my alma mater, where they're sitting down discussing. I think this was part of UFC's media day.
Oh,
And
they were the darlings.
of course they were. They're great personalities. Of course, Tyron is from the Ferguson
Both
area,
friends
St.
of the
Louis
show.
area. They are friends of the show of We Are Live, and they're sitting down talking to the UFC media. This is pretty cool. Let's take a look at this, Guardsy.
But I mean, like you guys all missed it earlier. But Tyron does this thing, and it's all the time, and you have to be on your toes, right? And he'll come up and say something stupid. Hey, you seen Bofa? And then you say,
She's seen it.
and you say,
I'm the
what do
king
you
of
what?
these nuts.
What? And he goes, both of these nuts. And you're like,
I have a million
damn it.
ways
Why
to
did I
get
fall
you
for
with
that?
these. I know
Why did I
it's
fall
old
for that?
childish, and that's probably why my podcast is named These Nuts. But
He's got a whole list of them. I mean, you gotta be on your toes.
Because low key, I might have to hit y'all with a.
Yes.
It was his guy that posted that video, and he looked like a moron. You know, the thing to me is, I'm starting to think he's not very smart because on the one hand he says, I'm not mad that he's calling me Marty. But I've literally done nothing else. I said he's a good fighter. I said he's a good fighter. I said nothing else, and he's all pissed off. So what's he pissed
My
off?
OCD want to push down that red Velcro so bad.
There you go.
That's been driving me the whole time.
But what's he mad about? If he says, I don't care that you call me Marty, because listen, that was his name for many years. And he's saying, I don't care. What's he mad about then? Name one other thing I said to him.
Because Ben's not savvy sometimes with the urban language. Like Usman came up to him and was like, I'm going to need you to keep that same energy. And he's like,
didn't know what it meant.
He said he was talking about all this energy and stuff. I said,
I just wanted to fight him.
that means that if you was talking shit on the internet, when you see me in person, keep that same energy. He said, oh, well, I just want to fight him in a cage. So, when you call a brother that's trying to be so cool, dancing in the car and all that stuff, and you bring up the fact he was called Marty, you know,
He had a good name.
but you kind of low-key took his hood credit away.
Thinks so. But he said, I don't care. Then why did he say, I don't care?
Because he does care.
Just say you care.
Operate that Marty thing, and you brought it back out. Now he got to live with this Marty thing.
Fantastic.
Tyron Woodley's correct. He's correct every step of the way.
And I love it. So what they were talking about was a backstage altercation before a press conference.
Right.
It wasn't really even a backstage altercation. Ben was making fun of them. He's like, you guys look stupid. You're the one who put out. Ben Askren was standing there in Birkenstock sandals, khakis from a wedding that didn't fit him, and an oversized shirt. And he kind of came up to him. He's like, "What's up with this?" And Ben's like, let's fight. After you lose to Tyron, fine. Let's go."
I think
that was
that's it
so
too.
good, and I love how Tyron explained that. He's
And
like,
as
"Oh,
you
man."
see, Ben Askren, again, if you didn't know what he did for a living, you're not thinking that this guy is one of the best world-class fighters on the planet.
When you see him with his shirt off on Saturday, everybody's going to go, "What?"
So you would imagine the average fan who sees Ben Askren for the first time talking trash to Marty, you would imagine that Marty...
Usman has 17 abs.
Right. And he's probably going through it. He's going in his feelings because there's a guy that looks like that and Ben Askren calling him out. And so
Who
you
could
would
very
imagine
well beat him, by the way.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that's the unique thing about the UFC is that you have guys that look like Ben Askren that talk trash, that talk shit all the time. And again, if you're just a casual observer of UFC, you're just like, who the hell is this guy and what nerve does he have? The thing is, Ben Askren is a national champion,
He's an Olympian.
an Olympian. And
in college, he had the big curly afro he would walk around with, and he drove a Prius. And he was always in flip-flops.
So imagine that guy calling a brother out, calling a huge Nigerian out. Hell yeah, he pissed off about it. So that's why, and here's another thing, Nigerian men are the most prideful individuals on earth. They are serious when it comes to everything. So if you call them out, and especially if you call their swag out, they get very, very intense about that. So having a guy that looks like Ben Askren call you out, call your swag out, would absolutely get under my
Yeah, they're very prideful. You're right.
No.
It's just, it's like, hey, you two Nigerian brothers, I bet you can't beat me up. I bet you can't beat me up.
They're also financially opportunist as well. Left that part out.
This is MAGA country, Chicago City.
Are you going to have to answer to a friend of yours about this conversation?
Probably.
Okay.
I do like it
Sorry.
too that there's a Jekyll and Hyde to it as well, where it's like it takes away, because if I was Usman and Ben and him are going back and forth, I would subtly imply that Ben just doesn't get it, and Ben may be having some racial undertones, but never say it. Just kind of imply and set him up. You can't do that when Woodley's sitting there next to him bashing you too. So I love the two-pronged approach.
No, this is a great way to get under your opponent's skin by having your partner do it.
He's not even fighting him.
So that's the funny thing. I know. I think what better way than have basically your tag team partner, he be the one that plays the mental games. It should be a fun event this weekend. I'm very excited. Again,
Huge
it's a
card.
very great moment for, again, the city of St. Louis, again, to see Tyron go out there and defend. He's got the belt on the line?
Yeah, there's 2 title fights. John Jones fighting a guy named Anthony Smith, who's
John Jones, who's that?
Johnny Bones, man. He's avoided running into any pregnant women in a car. No steroid tests. He's just got to fight, man.
No,
Anthony Smith beaten by Jake Hecht, by the way. The great Jake Hecht.
John Jones, any booger sugar in the area? Is he going to test okay?
We'll see.
Oh, good God.
Guys, get your fair or fouls in. We've got a great topic today. Black ice! For the end of Black History Month. $10.
Why you have to say it like that?
$10.
No, why you got to say it like that? What makes you want to say it like that?
Hey, bro, why are you slipping on me? You can't see me?
See what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is why people outside our studio protested right now. Because you do that kind of
What, I'm
shit.
not even here?
You're just going to walk on me and slip?
Okay. Yeah,
Come on, man. I just got this.
Gardner, get in on this, Gardner. What is your black ice impersonation?
I just
hey,
did
man,
it.
black, do it again. Let's hear it one more time.
Don't slip on me. I just got these starched.
Oh.
What's wrong with starch?
Okay, Gardner, what's yours?
I'll sit back a little. You already dropped the N-word in here.
You did. You did.
Good. I let a buffer zone. I create a buffer zone so everyone knows, now I got to tiptoe around this show for the rest of the episode. Good. Maybe I'll drop it a few more
Let's run
times.
people
No,
off.
don't,
That's a
because
great
then
idea.
people just start saying it in conversation, and it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, then you should start slapping the taste out their mouths and make them uncomfortable.
I will call the police for you making me uncomfortable.
Hello, officer. I don't feel right.
What would my nickname be if I just called the police for you on that?
Oh,
yeah, let's come up with our nickname.
Gotcha Guardsy.
Gotcha
Gotcha
guards.
Guardsy.
Gotcha Guardsy.
That's good.
I will cry too. I will cry in front of the police.
I want you to cry and just start taking off some clothes as you continue to talk. I
got one.
so
I got one.
scared. And you just start, why is he taking his shirt off?
Since people don't know
I
it.
just gave him my shoes. I assumed he wanted my shoes, but they were New Balance, so he didn't want them.
I got one for him because the internet would just go off his appearance. Oh, gentrification Jesus is here.
Gentrification Jesus. Oh,
That'll work.
Wow.
You know what else works for you if you're in the St. Louis area? Tom Bannister of Circa Properties. That's who. Great realtor. I've got the shirt on today, thanks to our friends over behind us at By Jack. Tom spent his whole life in St. Louis building an extensive background in sales and client relationships. He's a fourth-generation St. Louisan. Sales and customer service is in his blood. Be sure to contact Tom today. Tom.Bannister@circastl.com. It's not going to be icy and nasty for forever. If you're looking for a new home, check out Tom Bannister at Circa Properties, 314-393-5386. He prides himself on his ability to listen and deliver what his clients need, want, and make sure they're having fun along the way. That's Tom Bannister. Check out that Bitmoji. A handsome devil on my t-shirt today. That's right. Tom Bannister of Circa Properties here for you. Here's a shirt, Trav.
That's pretty
You
dope.
Curious? Yeah, that's good.
Circa Properties have some beautiful homes in the
They do.
Soulard
I
area.
like their color too. The orange. Nice
yeah,
call.
it really stands
Yeah.
out. But they have some amazing proproperties in Soulard, where we're going to be this weekend.
Did you just
celebrating-
transition into a live read for me?
Doctor,
Good
did I
man.
ever. 1860 Saloon. If you haven't purchased your tickets
Oh,
yet,
there's a
boys and
run,
girls,
by the way.
There is a
We
run
are-
right now. As we get closer
We are getting
to
hit up hard.
Saturday, there has been a large run on tickets. Make sure you guys jump into Mr. Denman's DM so you can
You
receive
can get $10 off.
$10 off. And this comes with a party pack.
No,
boys and
now
girls.
if you do the code on the 1860s website, you get a party pack, or your grubby little hands can get a $10 off discount by DMing us. That's a little bit separate. The $10 off is going to run out very soon, so make sure if you're wanting that, cool, hit me up personally or hit up the We Are Live Facebook account. If you want the party pack, make sure to use promo code WAL at the 1860s Saloon website.
Now, here's some good news for the weather this weekend in St. Louis is that it is going to snow, but it's going to come Saturday night. So after the Mardi
So to be
Gras
cold,
festivities.
so you know what helps with that? A heated tent.
Oh, yeah.
And fire entertainment. From
Oh,
us
yeah.
and
Climate
Silky
change
Soul.
hoax.
Cajun buffet, again, as Chris mentioned,
What
heated
a-
entry and bathroom access.
Yeah,
Trust me,
all
when
you
you're
can drink and
bouncing
eat.
around. All you can
$75 if you use our code.
Yes.
Listen, I'm probably going to chill that day and just take it easy, but party with everybody, have fun. But if you're Travis or I and you're just there to have fun, 1860s is losing some dough on my purchase that day.
I tell you what.
$75. If you go to just and I'm not disparaging anybody, but it's just the facts are the facts. If you go grab something to eat, wait in line for however long,
At least
for
a half
porta
hour,
potty,
if you're
and
lucky
then a
for
couple
it.
drinks, like
Yeah.
you're out more than the ticket would have cost. So-
Absolutely. And we're talking about convenience. You got to understand when you're partying, when you're doing the Mardi Gras, you're looking for convenience. So make sure you guys get those tickets. They're incredibly affordable. They are the most probably affordable, best value tickets
location, too.
available
Yeah.
for Mardi Gras this weekend. And if you haven't been, boys and girls, you're missing out. It is a time.
Yeah, and big thanks to Getaway Carts. That's a golf cart supplier in the Soulard area over on the Cherokee and Limp area. Great locally owned place, too. So if you're looking for golf carts, make that happen. Hashtag Carte Blanche. They did say they're officially behind Carte Blanche. Be sure to check them out. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Anything we need. Hey, can we? It took him 2 days to get the Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren video.
Where?
Carte Blanche graphic.
You should have
Ready to
seen me
roll.
getting that video for you guys this morning.
He was
It
really
took.
into it.
There was a bit of an issue.
Yeah, he even delayed one smoke break. Ooh.
Well, we started the show a little few
Uh-huh.
minutes late. I need my pregame.
Fair enough.
We are going to pregame.
Do we have a game we want to knock out
Yeah,
before
I
we
thought
go
we
into
might
the next
play
segment?
some. It's the final day of Black History
Okay.
Month. There's a game that might fit that theme some, especially in Travis's case.
Stretch it out.
What if we did make it racist?
It is time to play America's favorite game. Make Get Racist.
I
I'm addressing the white elephant in the room. I'm breaking down the barriers of race by assimilation.
I wouldn't mind to have black neighbors.
That is racist as hell. It's raining little white women. My prayers have been answered.
Black women have the nicest asses.
If that ain't the whitest thing a white man has ever whited in his life.
You do not have to say African American, just say black.
Oh, well, in that case, you know what word I miss? Colored.
Don't let the liberal media tell you how to think and feel. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
I'm racist as hell.
Deserved.
Ooh. Chris, you gonna freestyle?
I did last time.
Okay.
So exhausted. Hey, yo, it's Black Ice. Don't tread on me.
I like that. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Good.
Make It Racist, the game where we toss out things that, topics that certainly could not be made racist. It's
Sure.
impossible. Travis Terrell contends that everything's already racist. He's just shedding a little light on it. We like listener submissions, so we'll start with one of those from the text line.
Okay.
Make It Racist, PT Cruisers. Good luck, my friend.
PT Cruisers look like a modern day horse and carriage. You know who used to also be carried in horse and carriages? Slaves. PT Cruisers, you racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
That was a really short path to that. It's like you were
It's pretty quick.
predisposed to
Pretty
just call
simple. Every
everything
time I
racist.
see a PT Cruiser, I'm like, how many slaves can you put in that trunk?
Send in yours. You can do it on the Facebook live stream, on the comments, or feel free to text in anonymously. We've got that phone line, 314-669-1431. If you're downloading this and just want to text it at another time, feel free. We'll
Can I
see it
toss?
eventually.
Can I toss one out there?
I'd
No,
love
please,
that.
go ahead.
This is in honor of 44.
Oh,
In honor of
Barack Hussein Obama?
Barack Obama.
Okay.
Make it racist, Travis. 8 women twerking on you.
Well, first off, we know for a fact that white women cannot twerk. We've seen Miley Cyrus attempt. I think at one point we saw one of the Dixie Chicks attempt to twerk,
Really?
and it was embarrassing and insulting.
Jermaine had to die.
And then she just popped that ass, or lack thereof. So we know there's only one group of women that's capable of simultaneously twerking on rhythm at the same time. That's black women. So Barack Obama took the time to call out black women and their ability to twerk on one black man. Now, Barack Obama had no problem promising health care to everyone. He had no problem going into the Middle East and grabbing Osama bin Laden. He had no problem
Oh, we got him on the Trav cam.
making Hillary Clinton his Secretary of State. But Lord forbid one black man have 8 beautiful, fine, amazing black queens twerking on his crotch. Barack Obama, 8 women twerking on one man.
Yes, that's
Let me be clear.
not what I'm looking for.
You racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
I'm veiling my worries as a father
Michelle?
in things that need to be said to the country.
Michelle, let me just say this. If Malia is at Harvard twerking on Indy crotch,
Kind of sounds like Gandalf.
I will remove her from that school. Do I?
I don't know where you were going. With
I
that. I don't think either of us
When you
have a
said-
good Obama.
I think you said, when you said I sound like Gandalf, I was like, oh, maybe I should start doing Gandalf.
And if I
impressions.
could, I'd like to follow that up with 8-inch gold necklaces as well, Travis.
8-inch gold necklace. First of all, baby, it's 12.
Oh,
You racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
back to the Facebook live stream comments. Hey, give us a share if you're listening on Facebook. We love that. We get more people involved that way. From Danny, Black Catholics getting ashes next Wednesday.
If I
There's a
see,
song by the Men Singers called Bad Catholics. We could do a parody. Black Catholics. No?
if I see one Catholic church,
Would you prefer they switch up where it's white ashes?
I actually was wondering, I hope there isn't a Catholic church that puts white baby powder on one of their black Catholics' foreheads. That would be racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
A comment that's not racist. We'll just call her. There's a bartender at 1860s who works the back bar and is smoking hot and has boobs of majestic portions. That's from our friend Brian.
That's the question?
On the live stream. Shout out to BM, man. That's good.
Well,
That's
if it's
funny.
anything I know, large white women breasts that attract a lot of black men have to be racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
From Yale Hollander.
Do we have pictures, by the way? Is there any photos available?
Check 1860s Instagram.
Okay. Oh, they have an IG?
Yale Hollander, Maya Angelou, make it racist.
Ooh. Oh, my.
I am here for you.
I met Maya Angelou.
You did not.
I did. Met her at Mizzou. She came
Man,
and spoke about...
that was somebody's aunt.
8 years ago? I think it was about... No, it wasn't that. Was it that long ago? No, it wasn't that long ago. When did Maya Angelou pass away?
Did she make fun of you like Dick Gregory did?
Oh, man, I got to tell you that story later.
that's good.
She did not. She was one of the most pleasant human beings I've ever met. Maya Angelou.
Do you have a Maya
racist?
Angelou?
I don't, and I was going to do it, and then I was like, my mom may be watching. She loves Maya
wow.
Angelou.
Try it. Just give it a shot. Hickory dickory dock.
I wish I had a good Maya Angelou.
I think we all probably would just have a version of David Allen Greer's Maya Angelou.
Yes.
One fish, boo fish. Red fish, two fish. That's the best I could do. Making me make Maya Angelou racist as hell is racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
Needed to be said. Thank you. Gardner, you got another one for him?
Coffee shops.
They serve black coffee.
Coffee shops. Let me see. You basically want all the black and browns across the world to labor in fields where they're making 3 cents a day, then pack it.
Fair trade certified.
I tell you what, the fact that you guys are out here drinking blood coffee, you should be ashamed of yourself. Do you know the children who die every day just to grab those coffee beans for you to enjoy in your little latte every morning?
You're just substituting coffee for diamonds from the movie Blood Diamond.
No, not at all. There are children in the Congo right now that are in coffee mines and if one coffee bean ends up in their pockets, their arms are chopped off. So a lot of you out here every morning enjoying your blood coffee, I hope it's worth it.
Do you have a good impression for?
I don't have.
Coffee is here. And then a white guy with a weird beard comes
here.
up and goes, where's the coffee here?
Where's the coffee here? That you should all
and
be
he has
ashamed.
he has a bit of a romantic resurgence with a person who's there being a journalist.
The coffee is here.
And then Digimon, is it Digimon?
Digimon Honsu.
Digimon Honsu is on the run because he's taken a bag of fresh Colombian Arabica.
Yes.
Arabica. And then the general comes after him.
So all of y'all who drink coffee, you're racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
By the way, did we finish brewing that pot that's in the kitchen? Is it blood coffee?
No.
Okay.
Fair trade?
When you go to your grocery store, ask your cashier, is this blood coffee?
Don't.
You need to ask them that. It's
Don't
important.
do
You
that.
have a right.
Don't.
You have a right
Don't do that.
to ask them if it's blood coffee.
I don't know what you mean, man. I mean, it's pour over. Is that what you're asking?
You know what? That should be a thing we do. We should go
I'm
to...
sorry, I don't understand your urban question.
Yes, we should go to very liberal environments and try to out-liberal them.
I just like to tell you, Mr. African American, I hate myself and my parents. So I just want you to know I'm ashamed of my skin. Does that help?
I only go to coffee shops with Jacob Wolf.
Oh,
okay, great.
To own the libs. What else
One
you guys
more.
got?
I got another one for you. How
All
about
right.
you can't make this year's Oscars racist as hell? Not even close.
Oh my God.
No way. Black Panther
Oh
walked
my
away.
God.
Spike Lee walked away. I would say dominated. Not enough Asian people won Oscars, I'll tell you that much.
Oh my
but here you are, selfishly standing on top of
Everybody keeps
your
saying
mountain.
that there was no host. Oh, there was a host. It was a host of white people in power just parading their wealth, their status, for all to see, laughing in our faces as half of us can't even afford triangle cut gas station sandwiches. Also, Green Book is racist as hell. The Academy Awards was racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
That'll do it for Make It Racist, the game where Travis sets us all back 7 to 8 years, each and every time. Quick reminder to check out Hillside Animal Hospital if your animals need help this winter, this spring. Make sure they're on that heartworm preventative. Make sure that they're being taken care of. Take them to go see Dr. Ed, and you can see Dr. Ed here on the show for Dogs on Film every Wednesday. Had a blast with him yesterday. If you missed that, go back, download it on Spotify, iTunes, whatever. Leave us a review while you're there. It's all about growth, baby. Keeping it moving, and thanks to Dr. Ed and the folks at Hillside, we get to do that. It's Chris Emmett, Travis Terrell, and the great Chris Gardner in today. We're going to have a full lineup tomorrow, a couple comics coming in. Really excited about that. More big news next week for the Midcoast Studios and everything great going on. If you want to know what we have going on, check out midcoast.media. There's a very handsome photo of myself, and we've removed all photos of Travis.
That's fair.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break. Gardner needs a dart. We will be back with the second part of the show. Get your fair fouls in. The topic today, black ice. Damn it. You can win $10 to Buzz's Hawaiian Grill WAL, WAL, at weareliveradio.com. Quick break. Be back in a few.